Okay, so the first one is the most basic exercise in Tai Chi. Okay, Tai Chi 禅师运动 silk breathing. 这个 first of all illustrate the 3 regulations. Okay, so let me divide this into 5 different parts. The first part, really simple, regulation of the body, right? So feet apart, okay, and hands in a circle. You know, do that. You remember repetitive exercise at Princeton showed that will increase serotonin in the brain. Okay. Number 1 is the arms. Number 2 is the waist. Okay. You turn to left, to right, left, right. So if you do this, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. You do that. Now, I also said that Tai Chi is good for the whole body. How about the lower body? Lower body, I could shift more weight to one side, more weight to this side, more weight to this side. So like this is 50-50, 马步, horse stance. But over here, okay, I have 2/3 of the weight over here, now 2/3 over here, so I can move from side to side. Okay, so let's incorporate upper body, lower body all at the same time. Okay, to the left, to the right. I'm using my waist, turning to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Okay, so that's regulation of the body using every muscle in the body. Okay. 调身, 调息. Breathing. Okay. Now, breathe as deep as you can using the nose. Okay. Slow and deep. Normally, you breathe maybe 12 to 14 times a minute. I want you to slow it down to 6 times a minute or even 4 times a minute. Okay? And normally, you only use 1/4 of your lung capacity. If you don't pay attention, just like you read a book. Now I want you to go to like 3/4. Okay, 3/4 is if you breathe as deep as you can without straining yourself. Okay, don't go. Okay. All right, so 三调合一 integrate the breathing with the movement. So breathe in, breathe out. In, out. In, this is about 6 times a minute. Out. Okay, the third, equally important, healthy, regulate your mind. Okay, Tai Chi is, right? Regulate your mind in terms of a meditation practice. By definition, you focus on a single thought. Okay? Tai Chi is meditation in motion. So think of only one thing, but something nice, of course. Okay? It's like, oh, the stock market going down, that's not good. Okay? So think of it as I'm standing on the sand in Newport Beach, facing the ocean, and I watch the waves come in and go back up, and see the white foam coming onto the sand, going back up. So breathe in, breathe out. The wave of the surf coming onto the sand, going back up. like the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, there's more to that than that, okay? You say, well, Dr. Lin, you just said Tai Chi is the yin and the yang, and this seems like just slow and soft. Ah, okay, here's the secret. The legs are supporting your body, right? Weight bearing, okay? Even though it's moving slowly, it's bearing a lot of weight using these muscles. So within the yin, there's actually yang. If you totally relax, you'll be on the ground, okay? So this is like the wave, the sea water coming onto the sand, going back up. So, but powerful. They actually had a study done in Newport Beach at the Wedge. They showed that you can make a wave machine to generate electricity, okay? There's power in the water coming just slow in and up. Now your hands, okay, represent the white surf riding on the water. Completely soft and relaxed. This is the water, this is the white foam. What I'm talking about is, can you go to Newport Beach and stop the wave? You cannot stop the wave, okay? And this power, can I stop your legs? No. But the hand is like the white surf. You can actually stop the white foam on top. So your hand should be so relaxed that I could use my little finger and stop you, but not here. So hands are really soft, and this is really strong, okay? So, breathe in, breathe out. The hands are just the white surf carried by the water, represented by your legs, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Of course, we do the other side too, okay? So this is one simple experiment, one simple exercise that illustrates the three regulations, repetitive motion to increase your serotonin, and the yin-yang balance. So if you up, that's all yang. If you're like, that's all yin, okay? No. Yin, yang, and the slowness is like within the yang, there's yin, okay? So that one simple, exercise illustrates a number of things. Yes, question at the back.
Is there any benefit in holding your breath? Like breathe in,
Okay.
breath for a certain number of counts, and then...
All right, very quickly, we did a study on that. When you hold your breath, which is done in more advanced exercises, your CO2 level in the blood will go up. When it goes up, your body gets into a panic mode. Your body wants to preserve the most important part of the body, the brain. So when the brain senses a decrease in CO2, it will dilate the brain blood vessels to let more blood go up to the brain to preserve the brain. So we showed that when you hold your breath, you have better blood flow here, and of course, high CO2 for the rest of the body, not good. But you do have a shot of like clarity in the brain, and if you're falling asleep, you hold your breath, you actually wake up. So simple, but we did a number of studies on that, but it's beyond this class. Okay, so next one, tiger pushing up. 虎举，举重的举 illustrates several things. This is from 5 Animals Quality. 虎禽戏啊 You are now a tiger. A tiger is a Tai Chi animal. How so? A tiger is fierce and strong. That belongs to the cat family. It does all the things like your home, the cat at home. Okay? So, 调身, regulation of the body. So, tiger claws, right? So, you're a tiger, you pick up a wild pig you have just caught, pretty heavy, and you push it up. That's right, push it up, push it up, push it up. Wow, heavy. Now, you come down, you become a cat, okay? You're playful. Forget the wild pig. You see, there's a barrel of water with wooden balls floating on it. It's fun. Play with the balls, okay? Like you catch play with the ball. So after that, hey, play with the balls. Very soft, push the floating balls in the water, okay? Oh, heavy wild pig. Oh. And then at the top, you're a cat, you like to stretch, right? Cats say they stretch. Oh. And then you come down and you play with these balls. Okay? That's yang, right? And then yin. Okay, you're already doing that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Before we go further, just remind you, okay, you're doing imaginary exercise. You think you're pushing heavy, but it's not heavy, right? But you are flexing your muscles. Interleukin 6 comes out, break down your fat, okay? And you're stretching. You're stretching. So stretching will decrease pain and inflammation. Just a simple exercise like that, okay? So, you know, 五禽戏, who started this? 五禽戏, Hua Tuo was developed by one of the most well-known doctors in history, Hua Tuo. Chinese doctor developed this based on principles of Chinese medicine. Okay, so let's just do a few more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Of course, Hua Tuo didn't know about interleukin 6. In. Out. One more time. In. Out. Really heavy. Oh, heavy. Oh, push it up. And relax. In and out. Okay? Next, picking a star, changing the constellation. Yi Jin Jing, pendant changing classic. You know who developed that? Buddharama. Buddharama came from India, went to the Shaolin temple, and he saw all the monks were like, like that, because all day long they were like, meditating like this. Okay, no exercise. So he developed Yi Jin Jing to get some exercise rather than sit there all day. Well, today we pray to a different God. Okay, all day long instead of praying to, we pray to this God. Oh, back, Oh, okay. So Yi Jin Jing is as useful today as to the monks from 1400 years ago in the Shaolin temple. So I'm going to teach you one that has stretching, but there are different types of stretching. First, this is a straight stretch, straight up and down. This is a moving stretch, up and down. Okay, but you also need to stretch muscles that are not your main muscles, but the small muscles too. So when you stretch, if you rotate it does a different thing. So this one is pick a star, change the constellation. Picking a star, changing the constellation. So this one, the most important thing is to keep your knees and feet pointing straight forward at all times. You don't want to exercise your knees for this one, or your hips. Okay? Now, you put this hand at the back, this hand on the side of the thigh, and you can only do this when you're like this. So, you go up, keeping feet and knees towards the front, and now you reach up to this corner where the star is. So you pick the star, and then change the constellation. Pick the star, and change the constellation. 彩星 换斗. Of course, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. You want to be more realistic? Take the North Star and change the Big Dipper. 踩个北斗星，换北斗。Rotational stretching, particularly good for the back. In, breathe out. In and out. Okay? Now, it's not written there. This is called an eccentric movement, stretching. But you also need to do the reverse too, okay? The crunching. This is called 9 ghosts drawing the saber. 九鬼把马刀. See, in Western society, you have the sword here, right? Like that, right? Chinese people have the sword at the back, right? So you go like that, okay? So the exercise is the reverse of what you just did. Now, this way, hold on to your ear, okay? That's like your sword. And you go down and you aim this elbow at the opposite knee. You don't have to touch. I mean, if you're really flexible, you can. So breathe in, breathe out.
Can we see your back?
Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Again, don't turn the knees and the feet out. And of course, the other side. Breathe in. In. Out. Okay? 海星换斗 and also 九鬼把马刀. Oh, these are from 易筋经. 拔摸 叫那个少林的那些肥胖的那个和尚 okay? Now, yes? Oh, it's actually like a crunch like that. Yeah. But you don't have to, but you know, this is more important. The other hand, you know, just crunch.
When you crunch, do you feel tension here? Or,
You should. Actually, you should because you're crunching, you feel tension.
so
And then that's the release. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Also yin yang, you know, this is like yang, yin, yang. Okay? Yeah.
there's really tension.
Yeah, now this is all relaxed, you know. Not much of a crunch. Okay. Okay, this is all relaxed, but this one's pretty crunched. Next, we talk about fast muscle fibers. Anybody who's past age 30 should worry about their fast muscle fibers deteriorating before the slow muscle fibers, right? There's one more thing. If you exercise only the fast or only the slow, within 10 days, there will be measurable deterioration of the ones that you don't exercise. So you cannot say, okay, summertime, I go just like, swimming, and then wintertime, I go to tennis. That's not the best thing. You should actually exercise the fast and the slow, all the time, particularly, if you're over 30. So how do we exercise the fast ones? We've been exercising the slow ones. Two things. You have to do fast exercises, of course, okay? But something else. In exercise physiology, this is called eccentric. This is called concentric. Okay, this is called eccentric. This is called concentric. Eccentric. Concentric. Those are two different classes of exercises. For fast muscle exercises, you want to do eccentric. Okay? Concentric doesn't do as much for the body. So you want to do fast and eccentric like that, okay? Rather than like that. All right. So I'm going to teach you to do Tai Chi.